Good afternoon. Kind of a late start to the day, not from a productivity standpoint, more from an entertainment standpoint, because all the stuff I was doing this morning, working on federal crop insurance for the last growing season, isn't really that exciting to do on camera. Today we're starting some more of our deferred maintenance, taking Dad's project tractor, the 8310R, over to the other shed to change the oil. I'm not entirely sure what this tractor did to earn a spot here at his shed, but that's where it's parked. Maybe he feels a special attachment to it because it is his planter tractor. Get this out of here. Because we have another lovely day here in Central Illinois, we're going to run this over, change the oil in it. We've kind of postponed doing that over the last year because we put so few hours on this tractor anymore that we didn't see the justification to change it last spring. I believe in the process of doing this tractor's yearly work, which has been reduced just to running the ExactEmerge corn planter, it only got 75 or 80 hours on it, which is kind of one of those unsung benefits of the high-speed planters. You cover a lot of ground without putting a ton of hours on your tractors. It's actually rather dry out here for late February. If we missed another rain or two and had a couple more days of 50 to 60 degree weather, you could almost get some tillage done this early. Park this at the shop. I would not be surprised if there was some disagreement in the comment section about our choice not to change the oil in this every year. Everyone has different opinions on that. Didn't think 75, 80 hours really justified dropping the oil out of this. I'm pretty sure this oil is rated for 500 hours. Some will say that you should change the oil yearly to get any kind of condensation or moisture out of the system that could accrue during the off season or from working outside. I don't know. What's your thoughts? Drop your comments down below if you think you should change the oil every year, regardless of hours, or if you should just do it on an hourly cycle. Oil should be nice and warm now, though. At least warm enough to flow and not hot enough to burn our hands. Take the key out for safekeeping. Actually, I don't know how many hours are on it because I'm going to be climbing up here looking when we're trying to ride on the filter. 1429. Would you put that on with an impact gun?
No.
There you go.
Never can get right leverage. No. Well, that's more 2/3 full.
7/8 full.
Almost that 15/16.
I'd say it's clean. Take longer to move this oil drum around than it will to fill up the tractor. Almost done. Slowly but surely. Based on the amount of used oil that I collected in the buckets out of the bottom of the tractor, I'd say it holds 5.5, maybe 6 gallons total, possibly more with the filter included. Those air-powered oil pumps are very handy. It's a lot better than toting around the 2.5 gallon jugs or even the 5 gallon jugs. I can already picture it now though. A huge shop, bigger than the shed we have back there for cold storage, air conditioning and a heated floor, oil lined up on one side of the building so I don't have to cart it around. Unfortunately though, I've said it many times, the only thing I'm better at than growing corn and soybeans is spending money that I don't have. You could almost convert this into a shop. The only issue is that the ceiling is not quite tall enough. Can't get field cultivators in here. Combines are very tight. Even our biggest tractors are too tall to get under that door. Basically, it's not feasible unless you went around and put a concrete slab to raise your barn up 3 or 4 foot on each side. I asked our John Deere dealership if they take the old Highboy 6000 John Deere sprayer in on trade for the newer Hagie. They laughed at me. I guess that means it's not worth much in their eyes. You can't put a price tag on this kind of ingenuity. Look at this. This is a fine machine. Well, that is other than the bent front axle, the missing fenders, the boom that's about to fall off, the cab that's eaten alive, and a few other things that are probably not ideal. Still really could be a good sprayer if someone wanted to make it work. While my dad finishes that tractor, I'm gonna run and get the 8R370 so we can change oil in it. Do I even really want to change the oil in the 8R370? Not particularly, but I do love a good opportunity to back this DB60 out of the barn. Maybe we can do some rearranging why this is out so I can actually pull it straight in as opposed to having it cocked like this in the middle of the barn. Typically it's advised to get your winter servicing done before you hook up your big planter, but life comes at you fast sometimes. You don't get everything done when you want to. I'm so excited to get this planter out into the field. I'm halfway tempted to load this thing up with beans today and go plant a little bit because I'm sure we've got a field that's dry enough. Too early in the year though. I'm sure there's an odd year where you could probably plant beans in February and make it work. Typically though, they don't survive into March. Especially if they come up and get a frost on them. If beans get a frost, they're dead. No chance they survive. If you can make it work though, I guess you would be maximizing your growing season because the growing season hasn't even started. Just like everything else, our working shed isn't exactly DB60 friendly either. We almost need another driveway so we can turn around here. I could go out in the yard there, but I think it's a little wetter than it appears. 8R370 has 1,159 hours, pretty much 1,160. Depending on how efficiently you're using your equipment on an hours per acre basis or whatever, making the most use out of each individual tractor, the planter is not even going to be your largest consumption of engine hours. Really, running the grain cart is where it adds up pretty quickly, especially when it's hot outside in October and your lazy, spoiled grain cart drivers won't shut it off because they need the air conditioning. You just got to appreciate a brand new piece of equipment while you can, because it's not going to be this clean for long, and it'll never be this clean again, that's for sure. This tractor was due for a new engine air filter. This is the new one right here that slides into the two-stage filter system. The filter we took out was a little worse for wear. We probably could have done a better job servicing it regularly on our own during harvest, but it seems like it had an unusual amount of dirt in it beyond just a normal sealed system. Looks like it held about the same amount of oil as the other one, if not a little bit more. 7+ gallons. And no, the corn husk did not come out of the oil pan in the tractor. I'd say it was probably in the bucket before we started filling. This is used oil. We'll probably let someone use it to heat their shop or something in the winter. It's not used for any kind of mechanical intentions. Now we're going to try and do the impossible. Backing this all the way back out on the road. I know. If anyone can do it, it's me. I did it. Barely. But it is done. 8R370 and the DB60 are going to stay outside, and I'm going to bring the 9460R over, which I believe is our last tractor that needs service. I think we did the 9620R, maybe last fall, last summer. I don't know. But I don't think it needs anything. Hey there. This seemed like an appropriate place to park. Tell me your secrets, tractor. How many hours do you have? 1,257 hours. The big four-wheel drives take a little bit longer, hold about twice as much oil. The front wheel assist, we're putting 7 gallons per engine. These are holding 12+ gallons per engine. While we wait on the oil to pump, I figured we'd check out on our minions, our future mouse slayers. They're just outside chilling. They're becoming much less shy. I can't decide if this look that they're giving me is curiosity or concern. But regardless, I think they want me out of their den. Another one done. Dad's moving that one over to the overhead. I'm taking this to the shed. Looks like there may be just enough room to squeeze that third four-wheel drive in there when we're done servicing it. And then we'll give an attempt at fitting the 8R370 and the DB60 in this lane right here. I know that it's too long to do it, but maybe if we get it cocked at the end of the tractor, that is, it'll fit right in here. I just left 5 minutes ago, so that one must have not needed its oil changed. Well, we might as well see if we can get this planter in there. My dad's rearranging in there, so this may render my plans faulty. It fit that way a lot easier than it did in our previous arrangement. And the door shut behind it. Perfect. I warned y'all not to go daydreaming about doing any kind of field work this time of year. One moment you're inches away from being able to work some ground, the next it's rained a couple inches and you're not close to being able to do anything other than kick your feet up. I did see on social media where the tile guys have been running and installing stuff on people's farms. Some tillage is getting done in certain pockets in Illinois and Indiana. It's been unusually warm for this time of year, that's for certain. I, for one, am glad that it rained. Our farm wasn't exactly ready for any kind of spring work yet. See, this is exactly why we need a nice shop to work out of. Doesn't matter warm or cold, sun shining, rain or snow, we could be inside turning wrenches, getting stuff ready. Instead, since we kind of have to work outside for the most part, we're just kind of left kicking the tires while we wait on Mother Nature to make up her mind. Wow, that's actually a pretty fierce rain. You love to see that though. You'd like to have a nice full soil profile, plenty of moisture going into planting season. Unlike the farmers out west, we seem to have had ample moisture over the last few years, and I hope that it remains that way. The good news is that the rain finally stopped after a couple of hours. The bad news is that it's very windy now, and we're also in a tornado watch, so hopefully nothing arises out of that. One thing that we are going to go ahead and attempt to do right now is install a hydraulic return line on our last 9460R. It is our only big tillage tractor that does not have one of those, and all of our big John Deere implements with the TrueSet system require that line to function properly. We're going to need that because we got 3 tractors, 3 tillage implements equipped with that system. This is something we did last spring to plumb one of these 9460Rs to run our Deere 2660 vertical till. It had to have that return line. For the model of tractor, or the model year that both of our 9460s are, they don't have that as a standard option. It's not something that was really popular at the time. Now everything comes from the factory with that main return line. So we kind of have to plumb it in here, run it back through the back, and then it attaches to a post up high on the hydraulic mounts. When it's all said and done, it attaches either here or in here. It's one of the two. Maybe there, somewhere. Which one is it, Dad?
The elbow one.
I think we got the hard part done quicker than last time. I can't take much credit, I'm just the flashlight guy.
That's where I want them. I don't want them on the other side of that.
I think you want them on the inside of that.
Like that right there?
I guess it doesn't matter as long as you follow the big line around.
Those hoses go down and over.
I shouldn't have mentioned how quickly we were getting this project done, because the back of this tractor has something the other one didn't. This PTO shaft and cover that I'm standing on, which complicates it because the hose is in under here and the shield is a little bit challenging to get off. We're trying to use the baling wire snake trick. That didn't work. The second option is just to reroute the line a different direction. The main hose bundle comes diagonally across and comes into that valve body there. There's one big one that runs back that we might be able to tag along with.
You want it straight or at an angle?
I mean, the fitting would get us a little more room.
Go either way.
If they both work, use them. It may not work.
Well, but don't work.
You never know with Deere.
You got snap ring pliers?
I do not.
Didn't we have a hell of a time with that?
Yeah. Don't we have a pair of snap ring pliers somewhere? Yeah, I think it's going to look better with the angled one.
Okay. I don't know if I got them at home or not.
My dad just drove off on a wild goose chase looking for a pair of snap ring pliers, which I believe occurred the last time we did the same exact project. Unfortunately, one side effect of doing a project like this is noticing other issues, and on this main hydraulic bundle down here that goes back and under, we found a small pinhole leak in one of the smaller lines. I traced the origin and the destination of it. Looks like it goes into the rear end of the tractor. Probably a pain in the rear end to repair or replace, not necessarily down here on the tractor, but under the cab itself, because those lines do go a ways in there before they even hook up to a valve body or anything of the sort. It is going to need replaced though, because there's very visual indications that we are losing hydraulic oil, and I'm sure that the rear end would like to maintain the same hydraulic pressure that the rest of the system has. I guess it could be a low pressure return line. Either way, you see the line start leaking, you probably ought to replace it. Would be nice to have one of those bracketing clamps that fixes them without having to redo the entire line. Might as well just add that to the list, along with changing the oil in the 9620R over there. That's why the hood's up, so don't forget about it.
Put the snap ring on the back side. Got the hose on it, so I can go ahead and put it together. I guess I didn't have to.
While Dad and Chris wrap that up, I'm gonna back the DB60 out so we can get that 9620 out of here and go change its oil. Where's the old battery switch on this one? Have I mentioned lately that I think we need a bigger shed? Because we do. Marty's breathing down my neck. I do see this area right here where the lift cylinder is on the tongue becoming a pinch point, especially kind of right in there where it pivots. So I'm going to go ahead and strap that up to keep it out of the way as we move it in and out of the barn. It's better than it was. More rain coming.
You're gonna have to get up there and push this hose in.
With the help of my dad's newly acquired snap ring pliers, we've got the fitting on, and it seems like just in time for the rain to really pick up. Although it always sounds worse in the barn than it actually is. Holy smoke! Is that a tornado? Holy cow! That was scary. I don't know, that's pretty spooky. Getting in it?
Yep.
Could just be the angle the wind's coming up the barn.
Yeah, 40, 60 mile an hour.
There goes our tarp. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous there for a minute.
Place to go.
I was like the 9620 in the hole. I was trying to figure out what I was going to hold on to.
The boards are out from the auger.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit rattled right now. That wind was so loud inside the barn and it was picking up pace, almost like a locomotive. I genuinely thought maybe there was a tornado outside. I was trying to find the heaviest thing in the barn to hunker down next to, which I assumed was the 9620R. I don't know if there was actually a tornado up here because there was a watch like I said, or if it was just the way the wind was coming around the barn. But geez, we were in there, and when you're in the barn with no windows, you have no idea what's going on outside. It was loud, it was dark, but blew by, whatever it was. As the storm was raging outside, the thought went through my head, you know where the only place I'd rather not be other than outside right now is in a pole barn, because those things aren't exactly the sturdiest thing out there. They're not a nuclear bomb shelter by any means. They'll be the first to go in a strong wind. Well, maybe of course after these 40-year-old grain bins of ours. It appears to me that rain is in the forecast for the rest of the day, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits. Besides, it is my wife and I's wedding anniversary, so she'd probably be a little upset if I stayed at the farm all evening as opposed to going home and spending time with the family. So I'm going to end the video right here. I greatly appreciate every single one of you continuing to show up and support the channel. Your viewership means the world to me. I'll catch you guys all in the next episode. Until then, make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below if you have any questions. You know I love to talk about farming. Have a great day, everyone. Peace!